Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We have the Bromsgrove Indoor Bowls Club Championships 22-23 starting today, Saturday, and that goes on to all day Sunday as well. Today's match, the first match we're showing, is the men's singles final between Steve Morris and Kevin Kinsella. Both players having come through the rounds, as you can see, successfully. This should be a very, very good game. Both players up there when it comes to knowing what they're doing. Yeah. Got Steve Morris, plays with Drake's Pride Professional, size 3, and Kevin Kinsella plays with Henselite Tiger Pro, size 4. As we've said before on these programs, the different players playing with the different bowls, which they like, I should say. We can't always say it suits because we don't always bowl them properly, but that's how it is. Anyway, they're just having a roll up now. The first end of their roll up. Once the roll up's over, the matches will start. We also have 3 other matches on today. Well, this morning on rings 2, 3 and 4. And on ring 2 we've got the men's triples, which is Jim McDonald, Brian Lees and Rick Sippitz, playing Darren Mallin, Rob Davis and Rob Atkinson. And on ring 3 we have the nominated pairs, and that's Bob Jones and Martin Hill playing Richard Mole and Derek Bond. As I've just said, on ring 5 we've got Steve Morris, Kevin Kinsella, which is the televised game. And on ring 4 we have a ladies triples with Steph Greenwell, Jane Sippitz, Michelle Gulliver playing Ann T, Diane Ferris and Jill Cliff. So a very competitive setup today, and I'm sure we'll see some good bowling. And many thanks for all the listeners and the viewers, and I hope you enjoy a good day of bowling. I will give you another update later as to what other matches will be played during the day. That'll be a little bit later. But many thanks for your support. All that. Right. Nice one. 2 buttons and I'm just ahead of it.
Don't forget to turn it off though if it gets interfering with their heads. Just that button there.
Yeah. Right, players are just finishing the roll-ups on the other rinks, shaking hands. They're all wishing one another all the best, but we know different. As players, we wish them the best, but we hope for the worst. The last few bowls now being bowled. On ring 5 we have the marker Jill Hobday, experienced in marking, has done it for a few years. Our match referee is Arthur Jackson. I think I've mentioned this before, that Arthur's a national outdoor champion at singles. Right, they're all getting ready now, and hopefully this will be a very entertaining match. That's it, they've all had the roll-ups now.
Singles will be 1-0-1. Carry on, everybody.
Right, the matches will be starting. 10:01 the referee's called it, the match official. Rings 2, 3 and 4 will be a 2-hour game. Ring 5, the men's singles, will be 21 up or 3 hours, whichever is reached first. Good luck to both players, and hopefully we'll have an enjoyable game. We have Kevin who's first away with the jack, setting the first mark. And best of luck to both players. Yeah, both players gone about a yard through on the first bowl. Kevin's played a 3/4 jack. Second bowl's just about a yard through. Steve Morris has found the length. Steve's found jack eye pretty much. Yeah, Kevin's found the way with the third wood, but just come across the head. Steve keeping his backhand. As you can see, Steve's going up to see what the head's like. You're allowed to do this, I believe, after the third wood. Just travelled a little bit on the outside. Kevin's got a better line with this. Just travelled through, so Steve's holding one. Steve keeping to his backhand, just trying to drift round, although maybe inside. He's inside and just picks the jack up a little bit. He could trail it a bit, but he might have drawn it for two. So there's the first end. Not too bad, not too bad. Both players found a very good line. Steve Morris picked up two there. So Steve will set the jack for the second end. And as thought, he's just lengthened it a little bit. For now, Steve, he's probably about 2 metres up on the mat, and he's dropped it 2 metres short of the tee. Yeah. Yeah, Steve's not too bad with the first one, about 18 inches short and to the side of the jack. Kevin's is travelling just cut across a little bit. Needs a little bit more land, but the weight was very good. Steve's just put one behind the jack now, as you can see, about 12 inches. That short bowl of Steve's might just be a little problem for Kevin to come in at. Yeah, Kevin's hit pretty much the same line. Steve's just played that a little bit heavier than the last. Kevin seems to have put a little bit more weight in this one. Yeah, unlucky, very unlucky. Hit the jack but sliced it to the side a little bit. I think Steve's holding one. Both coming down to have a look at the head, make their mind up about what they need to do. Yeah, Steve just a little bit wide there, considering the jack's been moved about 18 inches to the side, but still holding. Kevin might change his hand here. Might come in on his forehand, try and push his own up. Yeah, good line, just pushed it through about 4 foot. And one to Steve Morris. Jill Obday, as I said, the marker, gracefully walking up to the other end of the ring. And we have to say the markers here and everybody who's put on this this final have done a splendid job. Fair play to them. Takes a lot of organising. Thank you to Ellen for doing the live streaming. And thank you to Waldorf and Stadler behind me. My bowling partners, Jason and Paul. Used to be, yeah. Yeah, Kevin's bowled a very good wood there. Just past Jack Eye. Steve's first wood's about 3.5 foot through. Can Kevin tee this up? Get a bit of pressure on Steve. Looks a little bit tight. Has he got the weight to carry it through? That's what he needs. No, just a bit shy. Oh, I think that might just have pulled up, just a little bit short, which might make Kevin change his hand. Yeah, I think he's looking that way. They'll be going to the forehand, possibly. That looks a very good line. How's your weight? Just pushed it through a little, but very good. As a lot of people probably have watched Potters, they do have the aerial cameras, which we don't have, just to give you the target, show you what's what. Unfortunately, we don't have those that technology. I'm sure that could be a sign of the future. Steve's just put a little bit of weight in it and I think it's kept it out. Yeah. So giving Kevin the chance to come in for 2, if he can trail the jack just a little bit, might be 3. Yeah. Kevin's. Oh, you don't want to knock Steve up. Oh. So, that's Kevin now. We'll see what length Jackie goes to. Two for Kevin. That'll settle Kevin down now. It's always nice to get on the scoreboard. Make you feel a little bit better. Oh, Kevin's lengthened the jack from his first go with it. And bowled a decent wood with a little bit of a toucher there. Steve's wood about a yard short, 4 foot. Just travelling a wee bit, not a lot, but just enough to give Steve the opening he probably needs. This doesn't look too bad at all. Well, that travelled even further. So, can Kevin put one on the jack? Kevin can plonk one on the jack now. I'm sure that'll put the pressure on Steve. Oh dear. Kevin's just knocked Steve up for shot. Very unfortunate. The weight looked very good there. Oh, Steve's got a lot better weight on this one. Yep. In for shot, holding 2. Kevin coming his backhand now. Well bowled, Kevin, well bowled. That was a real pressure wood, that was. Yeah, a real pressure wood. Not Steve. Oh, well bowled. Nice little nick. Might be in for two. A little wick there, but he was in the area, so you give him the benefit of the doubt. Just enough weight as well to knock it. So yeah, very good bowling. Both bowling very well. Yeah, good start by Steve. Nice and settled now into his game. No emotion or anything, just gets on with it. That's a good reply from Kevin. Just short of jack eye. Steve sticking with the hand he likes. Good effort. If Kevin's got the weight, it won't be too bad. Might just be a little tight. Yeah. Just gone through about a metre. I know people will be saying, what are you going to do, imperial or metric? Yeah. Can I have a tea? Steve's changed his hand. Just put one, just gone about a yard behind. Kevin sticking with his backhand. I think he's hoping to trail the jack through or punch Steve out. Just looks a little bit heavy. Yeah. Steve's got to be careful now, because if Kevin with his last wood punches it through, there could be a possibility of 2 or 3. So I should imagine Steve will either try and block the path to the jack or cover. Yeah. And Steve's done the latter, just covered. So Kevin's got, he's still got a good shot on here. He can still trail that jack or punch Steve's wood out. Because I think he's possibly got second wood anyway. The only problem he's got is if he hits Steve's wood, which is third, he could push his own out and give Steve 3 or 4. But that all comes down to confidence and how the bowler feels. Kevin's giving it a lot of thought. And he's gone with a bit of weight. And Boulderwood, yeah. Yeah, well done. So 5-3, Steve Morris leads. Jill Dave being very professional, serious, lovely bubbly woman she is. Liked by the whole of Bromsgrove Indoor Bowling Club. Very lovely person. Kevin back to his forehand. Jack about a metre short of the tee. Kevin just travelling through a little bit. Steve's got the weight on this one, just cut across the head. A little bit more land. Kevin changing his hand now. Yeah, just lost his weight a little bit, Kevin. But I'm sure he'll pick it back up. Yeah. Steve just going to cut across the head again. A little bit short. Very hard to see who's holding, but I'm sure one of them will get closer than what they've got. Yeah, Kevin, well, very surprising. He normally picks a couple up from here. Steve just going to cut across the head again, but he's got a bit better weight this time. I definitely think that shot, last wood. A little bit of a weak head from both of them, both struggling a bit. Steve with his line and Kevin with his weight. But we all go through it, we all have that odd end where it doesn't happen, don't I? 21, yeah, 21 of them I have, yeah, that's right. As you can see, we have a lot of banter at Bromsgrove Indoor Bowling Club. Yeah. I'll just switch the mic off and have a word with them. Right, can Kevin get his weight a little bit better here? Yes, this looks a lot better. Yeah, that's picked up, yeah. Well, we could see Steve playing a little bit of weight here. Kevin holding one, another good wood. Steve, I think I'll be trying to rest Kevin's wood. Nothing too heroic, but he'll have a go. I think he's a bit tight. Well, Right, one to Steve. Very good shot. So, Steve paid Kevin back for the end before, where Kevin took Steve's wood out. Steve takes the jack through to pick up one. And good length from Steve again, just a little bit offline, but I'm sure he'll put that right. Yeah, Kevin just gone through about 4.5 foot. Steve's cut across this again. But as I say, his weight's pretty good. Good line from Kevin. Yeah, just travelled through a little bit.
That was on your ball, we're touching, and that one's about an inch out.
Oh, Steve, just give that a little bit too much width, giving Kevin a chance now to draw. This looks a very good line from Kevin. Well, from this angle, can't really see who's shot. It must be close. That looks better line from Steve. Well, the line's a lot better, the weight was a little bit, but there again, saying that he split the woods, Kevin's woods at the back, so whether that was his intention. Well, this looks a very good line from Kevin. Weight looks a lot better. Yes. Yeah, well bowled. Very well bowled. So 6-4, Steve Morris leading Kevin Kinsella. Oh, sorry, 6-5. I do apologise. 6-5. Steve Morris, Kevin Kinsella. So, both bowling well, both sticking to one another. Very good start from Kevin. Little toucher. Jack on the tee, full length. Yeah, not a bad effort, about a yard short from Steve. And Kevin just looks to be a little bit short with this one. Yeah. About 4 foot. Well bowled, Steve Morris. Nice little toucher there. Just an update on the other rings. We have Jim McDonald, Brian Lees, Rick Sippets playing Darren Mallin, Rob Davis and Rob Atkinson. After 4 ends, that's 2-2. And on ring 3, we have the nominated pairs, Bob Jones and Martin Hill versus Richard Mole and Derek Bond. Bob Jones 7, Martin 7, Richard Mole and Derek Bond 1. And on ring 4 we have ladies triples, and that is Steph Greenwell, Jane Sippets and Michelle Gulliver against Auntie, Diane Ferris and Jill Cliff, and that is 1-5 in favour of Jill Cliff, Diane Ferris and Auntie. Kevin's just gone a little bit wide there. And Steve Morris coming down very, very well. Oh, another good ball, well bowled. Yeah, excellent bowling from Steve. Holding 2 now. Kevin probably needs to just be a little bit positive. That's what it is. I keep telling my players to be positive, but it's like talking to the brick wall. Kevin. Oh, just a little bit wide. That was all. The weight was good, just a wee bit wide. So Steve Morris holding 2. Steve's on a good track again. Probably just pulling up. Yeah. Yeah, just a wee bit short. But 2 to Steve Morris. So 8-5. Nobody getting away. Still very close. Both players playing well. Steve back to just a little bit shorter than what they've been bowling. I think Steve just a little bit down. Just going to be 6 foot through. Let's hope Kevin can get hold of him, keep his score close. And he's started very, very well. Oh, lovely, lovely bowl. Yeah, good second wood from Steve. Couple of foot through. I think I did say earlier they come up after the third wood, but it being a 21 up, they can come up pretty much whenever they like. Check the head. Kevin covering. Probably could have done with being the other side of the jack, because if his wood's hit, the jack's going to go to the other side. But he split the two Steve Morris bowls, so half the job's done. As you probably noticed, Steve doesn't mess about on the mat. He walks on, gets down, and does the business. Now, from this angle, can't quite see if it is second wood or not, but looks close. Just a little bit heavy from Kevin. Mine's not too bad. Just needs to pull back about 3 or 4 foot on the weight, but still holding, which is the main thing. And I think Steve's a little bit tight on this wood. Yeah, I don't think he'll be very happy with that. I think just a nice draw for Kevin. No heroics. Change of hand from Kevin. Yeah, might well be in for 2. Yeah. Well bowled. Well bowled. As we said, nobody getting away. It's going to be a close final. As I've said before, Jill Obday doing a splendid job. When you don't notice the marker, that's when you know they're doing the job well. And Kevin stretched the length out again with a good long jack, followed up by a very good wood. Steve's changed his hand. He's kept to that forehand after the last time he was down here. He bowled 2 cracking woods, and he's just bowled a little perler again, a nice little toucher. This looks good, Kevin. Just pulled up, about a foot short. Steve sticking to the forehand. Yeah. Kevin's wood stopping him from going 2 up. Just an update on the other rings. Ring 2, Brian Lee's team 2, Darren Mallin's team 5. Ring 3, Bob Jones team 8, Richard Mole's team 1, and on ring 4, Steph Greenwell's team 2, Jill Cliff's teams 5. So nothing really there to worry players about. A couple of ends and they're back into the shout. Kevin's just gone a little bit wide and a little bit long. The Arthur Jackson, the umpire, has just been called into action. So that'll be interesting. His first little job of the day. Oh, Steve coming down here with a very good wood. Oh, what a shoot. That's 2, a nice toucher. Holding 2 now. Well bowled, Steve. So no bowler really having a run of points. 2 here, 2 there, 1 here, 1 there, just swapping over from one end to the other. If one bowler can get a little run of 3 or 4 ends, it opens the gap. That's when the pressure starts to tell. And Kevin's just a bit wide again. Just a little bit. 2 foot through. Good bowl, but just a little bit too much. What will Steve do? Backhand, forehand? How does he feel? Yeah. Backhand. No, I don't think that's anything. No, it didn't really. The conviction didn't seem to be there in that bowl. 2 to Steve Morris. 10-7. As we've said before, first one to 21 or 3 hours. I don't think the 3 hours are coming into it. They're both playing quite quickly, not a lot of measuring, so just been joined by an up-and-coming aspiring young bowler, Deb Perusa. She's had a little giggle at that, by the way. Bless her. There's a good bowl by Kevin. Yeah, well bowled. Steve just gone through a few inches.
Who's holding? Who's holding?
Yeah, Kevin's holding one, so chance to 2 it up. Put a little bit of pressure back on Steve. Oh, that's very close now. just a little bit awkward to see if we that doesn't make it any better. Kevin changing his hand. Oh, looks a little bit light. Yeah. What Kevin's got to be careful with now is if Steve picks the jack up, having 3 backwoods and Kevin's all being forward, that could a big score 3 or 4 would really put Kevin back. I'm sure Steve knows what's what. That looks a little... Well, as I say, from this angle it's very awkward to tell. Oh, Deb said Kevin's on. We're just having a little bit of banter at the back here. Right, Kevin with a little bit of weight now. Just a little bit, will he be there? It looks very good. Looks very good. Oh, looks like Kevin's got one, measuring for 2. Yeah, the players can't seem to win more than the one end, which keeps the score very close. Just coming up to an hour's play. One to Steve. Wow. Well, that was close all round. So. So 11-7, a little bit of a gap there, but still not enough for Kevin to worry about. As we always say, keep it down to 1, you're always in with a shout. When you start going to the 3s and 4s, that's when the problems arise. Oh, Steve's bowled another good wood here. Changing his hand from his backhand to his forehands, paid off. This is a good line from Kevin. Oh, that's very unlucky. Steve changed back to his favoured hand. Just run through a bit, but behind the jack in a good position.
That's Richie from Wrong Bias podcast. It's David Bolton, Richie. Okay, if you could just say good morning to him.
Steve just gone through again, but still holding one. Kevin bowled a good wood there, very unlucky. Couple of 3 inches, that's all. Now, what does Steve do? He's definitely a bit tighter with this wood, but I think he's a bit light as well. Yeah. Kevin will be hoping to push Steve's wood out, I think. Not an easy shot, fraught with a bit of danger, as he might push the jack through. So, a lot of thought from Kevin as to which way to go. It certainly looks positive. I think it's just going to give up on him now. Yeah, very unlucky. 3 good woods for nothing. 3 good woods for nothing, very unlucky. Right, I'll just give Richie a mention from Wrong Bias podcast. They're on board with us this morning. Welcome. Do hope to hear from you in the future. Get a few mentions either way. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing, and good luck for the future in what you do. Thank you. I'll just mention that's from me, but going through hell in that is. Thanks very much for listening. Right, Steve gone back to his favoured length, and it's pretty much straight on it. Kevin just needs to be aware now that Steve's got the bit between the teeth and can't really afford to let him go too much further in front. Steve's one of these players that once he gets in front, he seems to get better and better. So hopefully Kevin can rein him back in a bit and make this match go a bit further than what it looks. But as I say, still plenty of time. This looks a good line from Kevin. How's the weight? Oh, just unlucky, just unlucky. Weight was good. Critical part of the match now. That's a good bowl from Steve, just through. Any trail now. And Steve's got it covered. Looks a bit tight from Kevin, that does. Yeah, just tailing off. It's just struggling a little bit. Well, Steve's he's given Kevin an opening, but Kevin's got to be careful here. Looks a better line, much better line. Well bowled, pressure wood. That's about 3 times Kevin's done it now, well done. Right, Kevin's brought the mat up. Brought the mat up 4, 5, 6 metres, something like that. Bowl into the tee. So just changing the line of sight and whatever. Just to throw Steve, but really needs to put a good bowl on to put the pressure on from the start. Just pushed it through a 5 foot. And this is where it can come back and bite you. If Steve puts one on the jack now, it falls back on, pressure falls back on Kevin, but Steve's bowled, well, a very wayward wood. Very unlike him, but these things happen. That looks a good line from Kevin. Well, he looks it, but he's followed Steve. That stayed right out. Oh, very unusual. Steve's tightened his line this time. That's a much better wood. Probably going about 2 foot through. 18 inches, 2 foot. So, Kevin's tightened his line, which is a lot better. But it's a weight. What's the weight? Well, I think he'll be very disappointed with those 3 woods after setting that mark. Steve's bowled an absolute beauty again. He really has found the length a lot easier than what Kevin has, but Kevin's played a bit of weight here. And he's gone through. Oh, I think he's very unlucky there. Well, let's have a look from a different angle, shall we? Can't quite see even from here, so oops, a little bit too much. Oh, it's very close. I think I favour Kevin, but depends what Steve's going to do here. Oh, nothing.
I'm calling for one, he's on that one.
So waiting for the umpire. He's measuring on ring 3.
Yeah, you can.
So we've got a little bit of a break while we're waiting for the umpire to come and do a bit of measuring. Also doing this, I'll just give you an update on the other rings. On ring 2, Brian Lee's 4, Darren Mallin 7. On ring 3, Bob Jones 10, Richard Mole 4. And on ring 4, Steph Greenwell 2, Jill Cliff 8. Remember, those 3 rings are all 2 hours and they've got about 45 minutes left. So yeah. So it looks like one to Kevin. $12.9. Kevin took the mat up again. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters. Probably bowling to the jack, to the tee again. Put the jack around the tee mark. Just tried to break Steve's weight a little bit. Thank you, Jill. Good start from Kevin. That's much better. That's what he needs. Not bad from Steve either. Kevin just holding. Kevin just dropped a bit short there. Steve would love to rest Kevin's wood here, but just found the gap again. Boom, boom. I think Kevin would love to nestle into Steve's bowl at the back by the tee, but pushed it through. And there's Steve just wishing he could pick the jack up. Push that through 6-7 inches. This looks very good. Oh, he's bowled the shot. Well done. Might have made two of that. Pushing that to the side. Might just have straightened it up for his back bowl to give him second. So put Kevin in a little bit of a position here, but he's sticking with the backhand. Looks a little bit heavy. Yeah. We know what's going through Steve's head. Yeah, if he can just push that jack through 4 or 5 inches, he'll definitely be trying to rest his own wood. Not too heavy, just enough to push it through. So Steve holding 1, measuring for 2. Steve. Yeah, looks as if he was confident with that. (14-9), Steve Morris. As I say, Kevin can't really let him go too many more in front, otherwise he will find it very hard to peg him back. Steve's gone back to his favoured length. 2 up on the mat and about 2 back from the tee. And looks a very good start again. Yeah. Jack eye. Certainly not giving Kevin any respite here. And just travelling through about 4.5 foot. Well, Steve's certainly giving a nice target here. A couple of little gaps to go through, but I know a few people whose eyes would light up when bowls go like that. This looks a lot better from Kevin. Might just fall out.
Perfect, that is one day.
Steve doing a bit of covering just in case. Sensible. Not the easiest shots for Kevin. Oh, that might have fell in for shot. Very close, very close. Kevin giving this a good look over. Surely be using his wood to help him out, his own wood. Anything like the last one wouldn't be far off. Oh, this looks a decent line, Kevin. Oh, unlucky. Yep, Steve conceded that one. Just another mention, Richie, hope you're still with us from the Wrong Bias podcast. Ellen keeps tapping me on the shoulder saying welcome. Hope you're enjoying what we're showing you. And hopefully we'll hear from you in the future. Bob, what's his name? Right, Kevin shortened the jack. He's left the mat on the tee and shortened it the other way. Playing to the centre, just past the centre of the green. Yes, he's certainly trying all the tricks. But Steve's one of them players that just doesn't seem to get flustered. Apologies for cutting the heads off the players, but just take it a little bit closer to the action. So Kevin just gone past by about a yard. Steve's found the length. Now gives Kevin something to bowl into now. Might be a bit tight. Yeah, just come inside. Kevin's got to be a little bit careful here. This looks a better line. Looks very unlucky. Just wish Kevin could bowl his. He seems to save all his good shots for the last wood, but he can't get it on the first or second. Puts Steve under a bit of pressure. I think Steve's took that one. Yeah, he's not bowling his last wood, so I'll take it he's taken the one. So 15-10, a little bit of a gap opening up.
Sandwich dinner time.
No, I'll
Ham salad.
get on.
No, it's alright. Ham salad.
I'll get on.
No, ham salad.
Yeah, but I'll get on.
Okay, but do you want a ham salad?
Yeah.
Or cheese?
No, cheese.
Chips?
Don't cheese.
Cheese and onion.
Yeah. But I'll get a Right, Steve. Back to his, well, probably just about a yard past his favourite length. Just going to be 2.5 foot through. Kevin's just pushed that one through a little bit. Lovely line, but just pushed it. Yeah, not a bad second wood. Couple of foot short. Now, Kevin's wondering if that's on his line or no, he's going to go for it. Try and just creep round it. He's got a good line. I think he's lost the weight a little bit. Just a little bit. Just going away. Cutting across the head again. Steve's just bowled a good wood. Kevin having to swap his hand now. I think that's struggling a little bit. Yeah. Kevin's just finding the pressure, I think, a little bit here.
It's impossible, man. I've been trying for 30 years and I can't fucking do it. You read?
Steve's doing another one. Well, we've seen this happen 3 or 4 times now. Kevin's been a couple down, 2 or 3 down, but managed to pull that one wood out of the bag. I think he's giving it a lot of thought. Played with a little bit of weight here. Looks a little bit tight. Well, he got a little bit of a result there. Little chuckle to himself. Fair play to him.
Went on the coach. When I got off the coach, I let the ladies go up. got small.
2 to Steve. So 17-10 now to Steve Morris.
When she comes, will you go and fetch her over? And he said, yeah. She's flashing her lights. I said, oh, I'll go throw her over. They had about 3/4 an hour or something like that. And I said, well, we've got to start playing then. She said, I'll go back. And I said,
Right, this is a critical end for Kevin now.
so we went over. And he said, come on. He said, well, I'll take you right away round.
Needs to produce a few good woods now. Steve's not going to give him much of an opening. As you can see, he's not a bad start. Not a bad start.
He said years ago, the greenkeeper and that, he locked up on that. And when he went to get in the boat, there wasn't there, and he went straight in. And they found him drowned in the morning, though. So whether the boat gone round like that and he wasn't listed, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Steve's just holding. Good effort from Kevin.
Fantastic. Interesting.
Very good effort.
We've got the badging on new place, right? Yeah. It's 2 nights fighting.
This is a good line from Kevin. Very good line. Yes, I think that's took shot. Well bowled. Well bowled.
Ends were time.
This is 21 up.
Yeah.
The others are 2 triples are 18 ends. 3.5 hours.
What's the players
Pairs 18 ends or 21 ends. 18.
Can't stand it.
Oh well, Steve's just bowled an absolute beauty again. Kevin must be wondering what he's got to do. Every time he bowls a good wood, Steve seems to just up his game. Oh, Kevin, you've got a beauty here. Well bowled, Kevin. Well bowled. That was a pressure wood, that was. Super wood, well bowled. Well, Will Steve bowl backhand or forehand? He's coming forehand and he's not being shy. And he's not far off either. Oh, well bowled. Made 2 or 3 out of that.
Is that Steve's? Oh, right. It's only 3. It's only 3. The one over there is Steve's. I thought it was Kevin's, but Richie tells me it's Steve's. That's what I thought. But the commentators telling me nonsense. That's Steve's bowl on that side. No. It looks like Steve's bowl and it's darker in there.
Poor Peter carried on. I'm sure Simon would have got that 5 for 8. Right, 2010. I think as we say, Kevin's got a mountain to climb. Bowled well. Deserves a lot better than what he's got. But saying that, Steve's bowled some big bowls at the right time as well. So, I'll just give you an update on the other rings. Ring 2, Lees 4, Malin 13. Ring 3, Jones 14, Mole 5. And ring 4, Greenwell 4, Cliff 10. Steve about 2 foot short with his first bowl. Oh, this looks a good bowl from Kevin. Well bowled. Always seems to be the way when someone gets to 20 and the other person's struggling, the pressure seems to come off the other person. Sometimes it seems to be a bit of a relief for them.
There might not be any there, there might be empty.
But a good bowl by Kevin all the same. Steve, one in front, one behind now. This looks a good wood as well from Kevin. It just needs to, yes, it's travelling well bowled. Yep, holding 2. Well, that's very close now. Do apologise to the viewers. Getting carried away there. It's very close.
Come on, commit yourself.
Fancy the black bowl. I just fancy the black bowl on the straight.
You mean the blue bowl?
No, the black bowl. The blacky blue bowl. Yeah, I think Steve's probably covering here, keeping well away from the head. If he feels he's up, he won't be attacking it, will he? This is where you've got to learn the game, Vic, I'm afraid.
I'll be putting the back out. Yeah, but then it's with his wood. Make sure you got two. I don't know what we did that.
Right, Kevin now. Well, he's certainly not held back with this one.
It's only what that bowl out on this ring.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I think that's it. He's shaking your hand. He wants to shake his hands.
Right, down for a measure. One to Steve. One to Steve Morris. 21-10. Steve is Bromsgrove Indoor Bowls singles champion. Well done to Kevin. Well done, Steve. Both played really good bowls. Both deserve the applause they've just got. Excellent, excellent. Thank you for watching. See you later, and thank you again, Richie. Wrong Bias podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully keep in touch. Thank you for watching.